Creating a retail storefront is a big dream for most entrepreneurs. They get excited about the idea of actually creating a physical space that they can serve customers and create the kind of environment that they've always wanted. But is creating a retail storefront the right move for your business? Let's dig into this important topic right now. Now, we live in an age where we can buy practically anything that we want online, yet so many entrepreneurs still romanticize the idea of building their own storefront. There's a lot of emotion tied up in the idea, and the siren call to build your own store is a strong one. As a matter of fact, many small business owners and entrepreneurs don't feel like they've really made it unless they build their own store. Now, there are many different types of businesses where you need a retail space. If you have a restaurant or a car wash or a hair salon, you need a physical space to serve your customers. But the problem is so many small business owners and entrepreneurs make a commitment to retail before carefully weighing the consequences involved. What I'd like to do is share with you 7 questions that you should consider before taking the plunge into the world of retail. First, can you afford the increased monthly overhead? Besides having a large rent payment each month, having a physical space is going to create additional expenses for you. You're going to have to pay for things like utilities and insurance and payroll expenses, things that you didn't have before. And these are going to recur each month regardless of whether you sell anything or not in your location. Second, do you have a plan for finding the right location? We all know the old saying, location, location, location. But picking the wrong location can sink your business. Too many entrepreneurs make a final decision based on gut instinct rather than on hard data. So make sure that you're not only working with a real estate broker, but I would like you to consider also hiring a location consultant, somebody who specializes in your category of retail to help you find the right place for your business if you're going to build a retail store. Third, have you factored in all of the costs to build out the space? Construction costs can be significant. And don't forget to include things like design and architecture fees and licensing and permitting. These are soft costs that need to be included in your budget. And one of the mistakes that many entrepreneurs make is to underestimate the total budget, the total amount of money that they need for their build out, which by the way can easily run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars for many different types of storefronts. Fourth, are you prepared to spend significant time in your store? A big mistake made by newly minted retail owners is to underestimate the time that they need to spend in their own store. 80 to 90-hour work weeks are not uncommon, especially in the beginning. And you don't want to make the mistake of thinking you could just hire someone to run your location, because in the beginning, the learning curve is steep and you want to be there to make sure that you keep the doors open and you keep an eye on things. Fifth, you want to hire, train, and manage retail employees. Many retail jobs are part-time and the employee pool can be transient. A lot of people are working in retail until they find something better, until they find something different, until they finish school. And depending on the economy and the type of retail that you're in, turnover can be as much as 50 to 75%. And every time that you have to hire and train and replace an employee, it can run you as much as $3,000 or more. 6, can you build your business online instead? There are many advantages to building an online business. One of them is eliminating geographical constraints. If you have a physical store, obviously you're going to be limited geographically to people coming into your location. But if you're operating online, you can sell to anywhere in the world. And don't forget, if you start your business online, there's tons of experience and learning that you can gain that you can later apply to a retail location if you decide to do that at some point in the future. And finally, have you considered low-cost startup alternatives? Before sinking money into a full-blown retail location, can you start smaller? Maybe you can wholesale your product or offer it on consignment so that you can get it into someone else's stores. Or maybe you can start at a craft fair or a farmer's market or a pop-up location. Or maybe sell it through a subscription delivery service. Also, if you're wondering whether or not your product can make it on its own in your own retail location, maybe you can partner with other merchants that sell complementary products and share space together. That way you're not taking on the risk of having your own full-blown retail location. The idea here is there's a bunch of alternatives that you can consider before going out on your own with your own storefront. Now, my goal here is not simply to discourage you. As I mentioned, there are many examples where it makes sense to have your own storefront. But there are also too many entrepreneurs and small business owners that have successful online businesses or the potential to have a successful online business, and they weigh down their business models with a time-consuming and expensive storefront. So what I'd like to challenge you to do is to go through these 7 questions that we just went through in this video and honestly answer each one. And carefully consider your answers before you commit to having a retail location. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that your decision to go into retail is based on real data and facts and information and not just gut instinct or ego or some other emotion. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever opened up your own store or considered it? If so, what have you learned from your experiences with retail? As entrepreneurs, one of the best ways that we learn is from each other, so please share your thoughts with us below. One of them is eliminating, I can't talk today. Hey there, thanks for checking out this episode. If you enjoyed it, please share it and hit the like button. Also, if you'd like to continue to get the most valuable, useful, and practical information out there for small business owners and entrepreneurs, please subscribe to the Small Business Big Idea Show. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time right here. And until then, keep building, keep hustling, and keep fighting for your small business.